telling her worst fears that one of these days he would go too far and kill her. Wasn't that what her former boyfriend kept telling her? She pushed the thought of Ledger McGraw away, as she often had to do. He didn't understand that she'd promised to love, honor, and obey when she'd married Wade, even through the rough spots. And this, she feared, was one of them. At the sound of someone entering the room, they both turned to see the doctor come in.
"How are you doing?"
he asked as he moved to the foot of her bed to look at her chart. He glanced at Wade, then quickly looked away. Wade let go of her hand and moved to the window to part the drapes and peer out. Abby closed her eyes at the shaft of sunlight he let in. "My head hurts," she told the doctor.
"I would imagine it does. When your husband brought you in, you were in and out of consciousness."
Wade had brought her in? He didn't call an ambulance? Also, I can't seem to remember what happened, she added, and out of the corner of her eye saw her husband glance back at her. The doctor nodded.
"Very common in your type of head injury."
"Will she get her memory back?" Wade asked from the window, sounding worried that she would.
"Possibly. Often not. I'm going to prescribe something for your headache. Your ribs are badly bruised, and you have some other abrasions. I'd like to keep you overnight."
"Is that really necessary?" Wade asked, letting the drapes drop back into place.
"With a concussion, it's best,"
the doctor said without looking at him.
"Don't worry. We'll take good care of her."
"We can talk about it," Wade said. "But I think she'd be more comfortable in her own home. Isn't that right, Abby?"
"On this, I think I know best,"
the doctor interrupted. But she could see that Wade was worried. He apparently wanted to get her out of here, and quickly. What was he worried about? That she would remember what happened? If only she could. Unfortunately, the harder she tried, the more she couldn't. The past 24 hours were blank, leaving her with the terrifying feeling that her life depended on her remembering. Chapter 2. When the phone rang at the Sundown Stallion station late that afternoon, Ledger McGraw took the call since both his brothers were gone from the ranch and his father was resting upstairs. They had been forced to get an unlisted number after all the media coverage. After 25 years, there'd finally been a break in the McGraw twins' kidnapping case.
"I need to talk to Travers,"
Jim Waters said without preamble.
"Tell him it is of utmost importance."
Ledger groaned inwardly since he knew his father had almost fired the family attorney recently.
"He's resting."
Travers McGraw, 60, had suffered a heart attack a few months ago. He hadn't been well before that. At the time, they hadn't known what was making him so sick. His family had assumed it was the stress of losing his 2 youngest children to kidnappers 25 years before, and his determination to find them. His father was convinced that they were still alive.
"Do you really think I would be calling if it wasn't urgent?"
Waters demanded. The 50-something attorney had been like one of the family almost from the beginning. Until a few months ago, when he and Travers had gotten into a disagreement.
"Jim, if this is about legal business,"
the attorney swore,
"it's about the kidnapping. You might recall that we originally used my number to screen the calls about the twins. Well, I am apparently still on the list. I was contacted."
He paused, no doubt for effect.
"I have reason to believe that Oakley has been found."
"Found?" Ledger asked, his heart in his throat. The 25th anniversary of the crime had come and gone, but after their father had hired a true crime writer to investigate,